We've been through trauma. We've been through something. Hey, what up, everybody? This y'all shorty Rachel. I hope all of y'all is having a blessed and humble day. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble day. Let's talk about it, y'all. I want to welcome y'all to the Writers for Life. Brings you the Let's Talk About It podcast. And when it comes to the podcast, we talk about it all. I wasn't planning on coming on here, but I've been hearing Puff Daddy this, p.diddy this, Sean Combs this, Sean Combs that. Like, we're going to talk about one. Let's talk about both. Puff Daddy isn't the only one in the hot chair, and even though he's connected to a lot of stuff, we know about this. I'm gonna play a video. I'm gonna play a little bit of what's his name? The lead attorney. He's got the court. He's got the paperworks. They run in that underground. That's a fact. But y'all do know they all connected, right? Everything's gonna surface. But my thing is, Puff Daddy. Listen, let me tell y'all something, right? I'm on here because I like bringing awareness to the situations and telling y'all what I've learned, right? And what I've seen so far is all these situations are all linked, but they a distraction. They're distracting us from something, and I've been saying it for a while. Like, peep it, especially now that it's election time. So now that I got that out the way, like, we know it's a distraction. Um, but I'm also gonna talk about Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider came out on the show Quiet on Set, and he confessed. And he thought that with an apology, everything was going to be okay. And nobody's talking about that. It's a few people speaking on it, but what I mean is that, damn, like, we got two in the industry that have committed these crimes, and Dan Snyder's list is long. So if we're going to talk about one, let's talk about both. See, right now, they're in the process of charging Diddy. If they catch him, it's curtains, right? If he's caught, whatever, however it goes, like, I'm keeping up, I'm trying to follow as much as I can. But Dan Schneider confessed on live TV, on social media, and he's walking like nothing. Let's listen to the Diddy. Let's watch the lead attorney speak on the Diddy situation, and then we're gonna speak on Dan Schneider. And I would love to hear y'all perspectives. I would love to hear your opinions. What do y'all think? Like, if we're gonna speak on one, let's speak about both. All right, so I found this video on Google. He did this live today. From the looks of it, lead attorney, breaking news: new court documents filed against. Yeah, do I have to go like this? It's gonna take me to YouTube, ain't it? Yeah. Should I go to YouTube? Let's see. Screw it. Give me a second while I switch the account because I'm tired of these ads.
Right? Y'all are in the right place today. If you don't know who I am, mucho gusto. I
Mucho
am the
gusto.
lead attorney, a 20-year attorney. Ain't nobody better to break this down. Right? Ain't nobody better. Been in the game 20 years. I see the big picture. If it's to get richer, I might get with you. If not, burn it. I'm hot like a furnace. Shoot the video, motherfuck city purpose. We are.
Yo, let me find out. Lead attorney out here rhyming. He rapping some verses. Let me find out.
On the city, on the phone with Diddy, light skinned pretty. When AV gets around, she like to suck around. Oh my God.
Oh, God.
Make this money. Take this. Somebody right when AV gets aroused. It's the freak offs.
The fuck?
Your boy Puffy was down here with the damn freakouts. He was in the Atlanta Continental. Salty Balls knows all about it.
Who?
And look who we got. Oh my God, she is not amused.
Well, it's not even that. As a resident Cape Verdean,
He just called her salty balls. I mean, I'm not trying to like. Wait, what he just say? Hold up. I know you ain't just call her salty balls. Wait a minute. What the fuck? What is her name? I don't want to go too far right here. Let's see. Did I
Yes.
go too far?
Right? Y'all are in the right place today. If you don't know who I am, mucho gusto. I
No, I ain't
am
too
the
far.
lead
Mucho
attorney,
gusto.
a 20-year attorney.
How do I rewind
Ain't
this, John?
nobody better to break this down. Right? Ain't nobody
Sean
better.
Combs.
Been in the game 20 years. I see the big picture. If it's
El
to get
cuadro grande.
richer, I might get with you. If not, burn it. I'm hot like a furnace. Shoot the video, motherfuck city purpose. We own the city. On the phone with Diddy, light skinned pretty. When Avy gets aroused, she like to suck around. Oh my God. Oh, make this money. Take this. Somebody write when Avy gets aroused. It's the freak offs. Your boy Puffy was down here with the damn freakouts. He was in the Atlanta Continental. Salty Balls knows all about it. And look who we got. Oh my God, she is not amused.
well, it's not even that. As a resident Cape Verdean, let me just say he is not in the country, and that's been confirmed with my family members that are in the government. I'm also not amused because yesterday I got my nails done and I picked a color, and I picked white.
She got the freak off nails.
I got the freak off nails, and then the raid happened.
She got the freak off nails, and she's in Atlanta. Oh my God! Listen, guys, we're gonna get all into it, guys. We are gonna get all into it. Somebody write when AV gets around. Listen, it's tough down here, and you see what my man Salty Balls has to say. Let's get it. All right.
It's
First
the
of
name
all,
for
what
me.
y'all are not getting apparently is my likes up.
Uh-oh.
Listen, we got about 5,000 people in here, which means we need about 2,500 in likes. Y'all know how y'all are with these damn likes. Uh-oh. I'm struggle streaming. All right, so let me do this. Let me do this right quick. Let me turn
Let's
on
see the
members
paperwork.
only until y'all can get y'all's acts right. These likes are free. I don't Salty
Look at the
Balls
members
bless.
only. So I fast forward a little bit just so I can get closer to
If
him reading the
there's
paperwork. Cause boy,
says federal agents raid homes tied to Sean Combs in Los Angeles and Miami. Now there he is, the man of the hour. Armed officers patrolled the properties tied to the hip hop mogul. And guys, the feds are all in it. They are all in it. So we are going to get into it here. Let me blow this up.
yo, the feds don't play. That means yo, it's going down. It's going down. Like he don't. His attorney ain't that good to get him out of this.
This is from the 25th. The 25th.
How much
what was
money
that,
you
yesterday?
got? This shit is serious.
So this is hot off the press, and then we're going to review this, and then we are going to get straight into the complaint. All right.
Yes,
AV,
that's
can
what I
you
want
see
to hear,
that
the
well enough to read
complaints.
it?
Yes. Yesterday, federal agents.
And mind y'all, guys, I'm reacting to this with y'all. So leave y'all comments down below. Let us shorty know what y'all think. You know, I'm gonna let it play for a good minute. I'm gonna react to it, but I want y'all to actually hear what he's saying along with me because I haven't really seen it yet. I got a glimpse of it. I started setting up my live and everything, but I really want to talk about the Dan Schneider situation. So we're gonna hear what he's, you know, listen to this a little bit and then get right onto the Dan Schneider situation.
Raided homes in LA and the Miami area on Monday that are connected to the hip hop mogul Sean Combs. person with knowledge of the case said.
Mm.
Homeland Security investigations carried out the raids but did not provide details about the case,
Hmm.
including whether Mr. Combs was a target or which criminal charges were being investigated. Mr. Combs, who is now known as Puff Daddy, Diddy, I think he
Mm.
calls himself Brother Love these
Mm.
days, has been accused of sexual essay and trafficking and multiple civil lawsuits over the last several months.
All right, so let me jump in. We got Homeland Security. They were all up in that
That
man's
shit.
house.
Mhm.
Now, could the FBI have done it?
So he ain't just have the FBI up in his crib. This man had Homeland Security. That's like, yo, we get it. The tunnels are there. It's that sex trafficking. Like, I don't know if y'all remember them episodes of Law and Order a couple years. I'm gonna say a lot of years back. Like, damn, it's been a minute. But a couple years back, let's say it like that. On where this is before Stabler left and came back. Um, where he had to go to London because they was tracking the kids that were being he was tracking the kids that were being trafficked from the United States to to London, my bad. But in the process, I think they was also talking about the states that they had to go through and the stuff. Listen, man, this shit is crazy, and not just that. But if you watch the movie Sound of Freedom, Sound of his John, like they was doing lots of things. Like I think that he was using his organization, his music, like to get these people. Basically, he was being a handler, like they're saying around. But not just that. To me, my biggest concern are those kids because I did a video and I was speaking on it. I uploaded it, and I think I did that video a year and a half ago, probably 2 years ago. And I recently uploaded it, and I was talking about how many kids go missing per second, per minute, per hour, per day, and a lot of us don't even know when our kids are getting snatched. Like the little white vans. Like we could keep going down. We could like really, really keep talking of like mentioning the different things, different ways that our kids could go missing and end up in different places. Like let's look at the situation with the girls that he allegedly adopted. Well, he ain't allegedly. That video's out there. I even uploaded one up here on and gave my reaction to it. Like, where them girls at? Where is Ava? Bald, whatever, where is Ava? Let's just call her Ava. Like, where is she? And where's the other 8 kids he adopted around the time he adopted her? But see, y'all not seeing it. And the reason why I'm saying if we're gonna talk about one, we're gonna talk about both. Because at the end of the day, right, these parents also, y'all don't see it. It's like a solicitation, right? It's solicitation. It's considered solicitation when a parent sits here and gets money and drops off a kid, right? To basically sell them, whatever you want to call it, it's solicitation. You're pimping your child out. It's considered solicitation. Pimping your child out is considered solicitation. Like I don't know why people don't go out here, grab the books, read your laws, read your rights, and keep going.
Yes, the FBI could have done it. And it's interesting that Homeland Security is doing it. But Homeland
Right? That's what I'm
Security,
saying.
if we're going to be honest, they have a lot of experience dealing with human trafficking.
Mm-hmm.
If y'all don't know, I live here in Atlanta, which has the business.
Boom. Now y'all know why Homeland Security was there. And they do deal with a lot of trafficking, all types of it. I'm gonna say it like that.
Busiest airport in the world by volume in the world. And not so much now, but 10 years ago, 15 years ago, our airport was famous for being the number one hub of child trafficking because everybody would come through here, whether it was direct flights, whether it was making connections from one airport to another. And there was this whole push on if you see something, say something. kids flown in internationally. So Homeland
Facts.
Security is all over this. They have a lot of experience with trafficking, which, and again, that's certainly one of the many allegations against Puffy Combs. Says Mr. Combs did not respond to a request for comment. The criminal inquiry was being conducted by federal prosecutors in the Southern District of New York and federal agents with Homeland Security, law enforcement official said. Okay, so we already know in New York there are federal agents and a case that is coming up. Says
All right, so there is an upcoming case from what happened from his home in New York. What did they find in New York? Ooh, I gotta look in a little deeper into this. What did they find in New York? Does anybody know? What did they find in New York? Because I know they raided all the houses.
in a statement, Homeland Security said that agents from New York had executed law enforcement actions as part of an ongoing investigation with the assistance of Homeland Security Investigations Los Angeles, Homeland Security Investigations Miami. Damn. That's all parts of the nation right there. You got New York up top, you got
Right?
LA out west, and you got Miami down south.
Peep it. Peep it. New York, LA, Los Angeles, California, and Miami. Damn. Peep the locations, yo. Peep the location. This is deep. Like, I want to say way more, but I might go to TikTok or I might go somewhere else to do it. I'm going to upgrade my phone because I need to re-download Rumble.
I mean, they are triangulating.
They did this in coordination.
Yes, they are triangulating against our man, Sean Puffy Combs. Says video from Fox, a local television station in Los Angeles, showed armed officers entering the home in the Holmby Hills area of the city.
You get to the documents.
Public records in California also indicate that the home is owned by a company led by Puffy. The raids were a stunning development in the career of Mr. Combs, 54 years old, producer, label exec, occasional rapper, a dancer, who has been one of the most influential and widely recognized figures in the music industry. Played an integral role in the transformation of hip hop, Notorious B.I.G., Mary J. Blige, also made smash hits himself, I'll Be Missing You, Every Breath You.
What's crazy is the video that I uploaded earlier this morning mentioned Cuba Gooding Jr., J-Lo, and Prince Harris. I'm sitting here like, dang.
Take, but Mr. Combs has been dogged for decades by accusations of violence. In November, he was sued by Cassie. We all know that. And Cassie got a check. Now, we don't know how big the check was, but it was a big one. She was asking for $30 million before the case settled, so who knows what she got afterwards. In her suit, Cassie accused Puffy of forcing her to engage in sexual activity with male prostitutes over a period of years. The suit said that as
I'm saying that, right? I don't know if y'all remember, and a lot of people are forgetting to mention this. Cassie was his son's girlfriend. I mean, and rumors are also going around surfacing that Quincy Jones, his son, snitched on him. So I'm not sure how this, I got to go deeper. So I want to say allegedly. I'm going to say allegedly because this is something that, people are just talking like, I want to see the paperwork. Like he's about to show here on the situation that's happening with Diddy. Like, I want him to get to the paperwork. He's on here reading this damn article, but I don't want to skip because I might skip too far.
As a result of these encounters, which took place in a number of cities across the United States, including Atlanta. Can y'all believe it? Shout out to Fanny. Fanny could have prosecuted Puffy down here for some Rico
Diddy.
action, right?
She could have got Diddy.
Dude, she would have loved to get her hands on Diddy, right? If she was already doing the Nathan Wade, and Nathan Wade was doing Sonya. I mean, if you want to freak off, come to Atlanta. Come to Atlanta. What do they say?
Oh, I'm done.
Puffy said that he used to make Cassie paint her fingernails white. So look at the white fingernails, so it would show up. It would be highlighted. It would contrast against the black dick. That's what.
Oh my God! You know what's so crazy?
What?
I did not plan.
Yo, he ain't just say that. Yes, Miss April Showers. Yes, Prince Harry was mentioned. I uploaded it on the video. I was expecting for them to, have a whole list full of people, but they mentioned Cuba Gooding Jr., Jennifer Lopez, and Prince Harry. When they said Prince Harry, I was like, oh snap! Even the Prince in London was caught in these parties. I was like, yo. That's crazy, yo. But yes, Prince Harry is considered to be linked up with the Diddy situation. They're saying that it could be that he was just going to the parties, attending them, or he could have been a part of what was going down in the parties. Listen, man, I ain't defending nobody until I have proof showing that, like, how, like, this is crazy. But they found some shit.
Plan on this yesterday. I picked it. I like for 4 months. I was like, I'm not gonna pick white. I'm not gonna pick white. I'm gonna pick a different color. The day I picked this color, his house gets raided.
His house is raided. Here come the freak offs. Here come AV's hands that can contrast when she's grabbing the. Yeah. All right, coincidence? Put a yes if you think it's a coincidence, but no, you're like, AV doing the freak off in Atlanta. Atlanta was one of the principal cities. Cassie's silver suit was settled in just one day. That suit, filed in a detailed 35-page complaint, drew headlines around the world. Even after the settlement, Cassie's suit was followed by several more cases, including each accusing Puffy of sexual assault. This is the one right here. In one case filed last month, music producer
But it's crazy that for years Puffy has been accused of all these crimes, and it takes Cassie. It takes Cassie, but it wasn't just Cassie. They're saying Little Rod was also making accusations. Then you got Racheal, the guy, the guy, the young boy from Empire. Like, this shit is deep. This is crazy. Like, and that's why I say all these things go hand in hand. So if I'm gonna speak on Puff Daddy, I'm gonna make sure that I speak on Dan Schneider.
Rodney Jones said that Puffy had made unwanted sexual contact with him. And this is the case that we're going to review right now. This is in the New York Times, but we're going to review this case right now. And we reviewed the complaint earlier, but he has filed an amended complaint. He's dropped some people off, and we're going to talk about why. He's added some people. He's added some people, and it does not look good. And the day that this thing is filed, boom, there's the raid. There's the raid. So many people behind the scenes, you have to know, are snitching on Puffy.
Yeah, someone got arrested yesterday at the same time of the raids.
Jesus. Says federal investigators in New York have been leading the investigation, have been conducting interviews, asking potential witnesses about sexual misconduct against Puffy. So here, guys, Homeland Security agents carry bags out of Puffy's house in Miami Beach.
That's evidence.
Wow.
Yeah, it's a raid. Obviously, they're gonna carry bags. They took all his paperwork. They took all his phones. They took all his computers. They took everything they could use. It's a raid. Like, have y'all ever seen a raid? They take everything: paperwork, computer, phones, and they go through it all.
Look at all of this, guys. Look at all of this. Mr. Combs has denied the accusations against him. In December, after an anonymous woman filed a suit accusing Puffy and of raping her in New York studio when she was 17, Puffy said, "Sickening allegations have been made against me by individuals looking for a paycheck. Let me
get your honest opinions. Do y'all believe that he committed the crime, or do y'all believe that these are accusations just to, bring a rich man down? How do y'all feel about the situation? Man, accusations after accusations for years after years, and the way he's been acting on social media, on podcasts, on radio stations, like,
be absolutely clear. I did not do any of the awful things being alleged." In Mr. Jones's suit, Sean Hawley, a lawyer for Mr. Combs, said after Rodney's lawsuit against Puffy, Puffy's lawyer said that Rodney is nothing more than a liar. He's a liar who filed a $30 million lawsuit shamelessly, looking for an undeserved payday, and called his accusations pure fiction. All right, Puffy did not.
Shit. When they call them liars, there's some truth in there.
Not respond for requests. In a statement on Monday, Douglas, a lawyer who represents Cassie and an anonymous woman who sued Combs alleging assault in a New York studio, "We will always support."
So damn, Cassie wasn't the only one that sued him? Oh shit. Who else?
For law enforcement when it seeks to prosecute those that have violated the law. And let's not forget, guys, Puffy he's got lawsuits coming out the ass. All right, we already saw that first Cassie sued him, then another woman sued him. I think one more woman might have sued him.
Yeah, with Aaron Hall.
Then Rodney sued him. And shout out to again Tyrone. Maybe he'll come up if he has time. He's the attorney representing Little Rod. That's just Cassie's case blew this all open, and now Rodney is coming with proof that Cassidy never put forth. Because Cassie, in her complaint, very professional, excellently drafted complaint, it didn't have the photos. It didn't have the photos of the blood, photos of the weapons, photos of the drugs, photos of.
So Little Rod is the one that showed the evidence. He showed pictures. All right, so we see how it was like, all right, fuck, we got what we needed.
The celebrities. This is what Little Rod is. He's not just coming with the complaint. He's coming with the receipts inside the complaint, receipts that typically a jury would hear. You don't normally put all these receipts into a complaint. So this has been extremely interesting to see how this case is being processed. Oh, y'all are blessing me. Let me do this right quick. Huge thank you to everybody who's blessing me and AV. Shout out to my man CNG. CNG sends $17.84 on the Cash App. Says Square says, "Take this money, take this." What is it? Take that, bad boy. Yeah, take that. Yeah. Shout out to my man Puff Daddy. Shout out to my man Centennial G. Also sends 1914. Says, "Breast milk, how you make my day, yay." Was Puffy drinking breast milk too?
That's a Dave Chappelle reference. When Dave Chappelle made fun of making the band.
Blessings, Lake, and blessings. How you doing?
He would send, I guess in the show Making the Band, when Diddy had it, he would send people out to do ridiculous tasks. So Dave Chappelle made fun of him, and he's just like, "I need you guys to go find me Cambodian breast milk."
Cambodian breast milk. That's specific.
And he was like, breast milk, you've made my day.
Oh my God. Yeah. It's crazy how life can imitate art and art can imitate life. Shout out to my man Centennial G. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah, I'm here chilling. I'm doing this live. It's not a planned live like always, but I wanted to come on here because I've seen the commotion with the so much commotion with the Diddy situation. I'm gonna be very honest. Before I started this live, right, I was on TikTok and I was listening to a TikToker and he was making sense, right? And I asked a question like, yo, like we're just speaking on Puff Daddy, like why we not speaking on Dan Schneider? And the boss asked the same question, yo, like if we speak about one, why not speak about both? And I'm saying, I'm like, yo, that's a fact. Like, if we're going to speak about one, let's speak about both because all this goes hand in hand, whether y'all like it or not. The man's involved in the trafficking part, and so is Dan Schneider. I'm not talking about, how he was a handler or none of that. It's in there, yes, but my focus are these kids. Like, I get it, but my focus are these kids because they found the underground tunnels, right? I mean, this goes deeper. Like, I would love to get y'all perspectives on this. I would love to get y'all opinions. We're not here to judge. We're not here to criticize. We're not here to bring nobody down. We're here to bring awareness. Baby, can you bring me that soda in the freezer? Yeah, give me a minute for it. I got you. So, I'm going to drop the link in a minute because after this, I am going to get on to the Dan Schneider situation. Yep, Dan Schneider, Nickelodeon. Even my son knows what's going on. That's crazy.
One of the pillars of the channel. Shout out to Audrey. Shout out to Audrey. Blesses me $20 on the Cash App. Says for the love of the game. Thank you so much, Audrey. Are you caught up with any super chats, guys? If y'all want AV's Cash App, y'all want to bless her at her Cash App.
I want to fast forward, but when I fast forward too much, and when I rewind too much. I hate this rewind situation here on YouTube. They need to fix that.
Is right there at the bottom of the screen.
I have one. Shout out to Audrey. She sends $20 for the love. Audrey, thank you so much. I know you were just on my stream a little bit earlier, so it's good to see you supporting again. Thank you so much.
Audrey
Really means
is
a lot.
amazing. Yes, always supporting. Let's get back to it, guys. Thank y'all. I know I got some super chats to read. I'm gonna read those in a second. Says Puffy's home searched in Miami Beach was on Star Island, an exclusive enclave of mansions in the Biscayne Bay, popular with celebrities and the wealthy. On Monday, its usual tranquility was interrupted by Homeland Security. With the flashing red and blue lights on the van, law enforcement officials in blue windbreakers, and at least 2 agents with dogs. God damn, they got the dog. Well, there was a lot of allegations of drug use. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
A similar scene played out in Puffy's home in LA, whereby.
And not just that, y'all. Listen, I'm gonna take a minute. I want y'all to look at this clip, right? It's on TikTok, but I want y'all to see it. I hope I saved it. Right? We're gonna get right back to the lead attorney, right? Y'all know I've been talking about the little girl that he adopted, right? I hope I saved it. Let me see. Did I save her? Yo, those are not my liked videos. Where is she? This guy is speaking on. Yeah. Let's keep playing this while I find the video. Let's keep playing this because I'm gonna find the video.
Late afternoon, a few dozen people, many of them journalists, milled about the Tony neighborhood of Holmby Hills. A few LA police officers blocked the road leading to Puffy's property. Yeah, man. The neighborhood just a mile east of the University of California, accustomed to attention, boasting a long list of celebrity residents where it was where Hugh Hefner once through lavish parties at the Playboy Mansion where Michael Jackson lived in a chateau just before his death. I mean,
all right. So I'm gonna pause it right here, and I want y'all to look at this clip. All right. And then we're gonna get right back to the lead attorney. I want y'all to hear what this lady is saying. Make sure the volume is up. There you go.
This is Ava 2020 with Diddy. This is the missing Ava in an age progression. Tell me there's not similarities here. As we all know, Diddy got his ass raided yesterday, and I've been down a rabbit hole ever since. Who remembers this live from Diddy? Y'all are going to want to hang in there for this.
I want you to tell them the story about how I adopted you. But you still have beautiful parents that you're my child also. Please tell the story.
So, I was on the streets.
You still have beautiful parents, but you're my child too. So what was the point of adopting her if she still had beautiful parents?
And then Papa Combs decided that he would like to be a caring man. So then he saw me and decided to pick me up and said to come inside and play with his kids.
Y'all, this is all allegedly, okay? All
Mhm.
allegedly. Matter of fact, there was this whole thing last year where everyone thought that Ava Baldwin and her mom were Bebop and BB. Does that ring a bell? But let me show you something.
Little girl named Ava Grace Baldwin. She was 6 years old when she was reported missing from her elementary school. She hadn't shown up in nearly 3 weeks when the school contacted her dad. Police believe that her mother took her, and for the last 8 years, her dad has been on a quest to find her.
The Ava that's in Diddy's video from 2020 looks to be about 11 or 12 at that time, which would make her in 2024.
So I'm gonna pause it right here. I did a video once before, right? And I was telling people it's crazy how, I think this was in 2020, right? It's crazy how, right? People that went missing back in the 70s, back in the 80s, back in the 90s, 80s and 90s, have been starting to be found in houses through raids or, whatever it is that's happening. But this is years later and they were trafficked. They were either kidnapped, trafficked, and I could just keep going. Y'all not seeing why I'm trying to connect the dots and trying to, listen, y'all can take it however y'all want, but my eyes are wide open and I'm not just looking at one situation. I'm looking at all of them and I'm seeing how a lot of these situations really do connect.
Or about 15. Ava Baldwin that's missing was born in 2009, which would make her 15 this year.
Mm-hmm.
I want y'all to take a look at this.
Life was spiraling. He says she was in and out of church missions, shelters, and relationships as he fought for more access to Ava. But David says one day Child Protective Services was alerted to a salacious video of Catherine performing a sex act. 2-year-old Ava was in bed behind her.
Y'all heard that right? Her mother was filming herself having in the bed with her daughter laying next to her.
What type of mom would do that? But them girls look similar. And like I just told you, I've been talking about this stuff for a while. I just want y'all to go do y'all research. That's what I want y'all to do. Go do y'all research.
Tina Fulbright, Ava's aunt, says Catherine, or Katie, had a habit of running.
She just jumped counties. She get in trouble in one county and she jumped to the other county.
Catherine has a felony warrant for interfering with child custody. Police records show she has a history of alcohol and prescription drug abuse and suffers from mental illness. He says there have been sightings of the pair since they disappeared, including contact from a couple in Florida who said Catherine tried to hand over custody of Ava to them.
We have reason to believe that she is alive. There's also a case down in Florida where
Florida. It's kind of crazy though that in 2000 and what was it, 2000 and I think 2021, these videos started surfacing and stuff. Boom. The little girl was born in 2009. Went missing when she was almost 3 years old. Come on, same name, Ava Baldwin. That girl that looks. How does the girl that Diddy adopt end up being so similar and then has the same name that of the girl that went missing years before he adopted this little girl, Ava Baldwin. I mean, come on, guys. Like, we gotta go deep, deep, deep. We gotta really. You can't be afraid to take that dive.
We know that the couple that she tried to give Ava to, they contacted us, and that was after they went missing. So that was in 2016.
There were other possible sightings of Catherine as late as 2020. Police confirmed they have records of her using nearly a dozen aliases.
Y'all, the news just said it. Ava Baldwin's mom was not stable. She was houseless most of the time. She was using substances and alcohol. She was trying to SELL her child to somebody. Like,
put two and two together, guys.
These two look so similar to me. Tell me I'm not crazy. Tell me I'm not crazy. Seriously.
Oh, the lady not crazy. You just have to really go down that rabbit hole, not be scared to search, like really search and connect the dots on some real shit. And then she went missing in 2016 in Florida. Diddy pops up with a Ava Baldwin. Found her in the streets. She has a family, but she has a mom, but you know, he wanted her to know what it feels like to be adopted by a black family, right? But then somewhere along the lines in between, he found her in the streets when she was 6 months old. I'm saying, I'm like, wait. The girl went missing when she was like 3. I'm like, yo, y'all need to go out there and do the research. Listen, man, call me crazy, call me whatever y'all want, but I'm doing my research. This is my opinions. That's it. Simple. But yeah, I don't think this lady is crazy, and I don't think she's off. And it's more than just her out here like putting and coming up with that conclusion. It's crazy. Like, think about it. But back on to the lead attorney. Let's finish listening to what he's got to say. But him saying that made me think about that, and I wanted to show y'all that video. Down the rabbit hole where Shorty went. I ain't trying to create a rabbit hole of mine. Like, I ain't trying to be stuck in a rabbit hole of my own mind. Real shit. So I'm gonna go down there, explore, learn, come back up, give y'all what I've learned, and move on to the next subject, because I do know that this is distracting us from something.
I'm sure there are a lot of celebrities there, but this is the interesting couple to mention. Hugh Hefner and Michael Jackson, and they're all living down the street from one another. Do we need to ask? All right, this is it's deep. So that is the article. This kind of sets the scene on the raid, guys. But we are going to get into it with the amended complaint. And again, shout out to Little Rod's attorney for sending me this, and who is in the chat the first time that we covered it. So let me pull that up right quick, and let's give me 1 second. Let's hop right into it, because I want to check this out and see what has been amended. Now, what I should have done actually is gone over some of these photos. Hopefully none of the photos are too bad. We see that there's already an indication that this is going to be a serious matter, because there's a damn trigger warning on it. Says, be careful. What you about to see is some real stuff, right? And so Little Rod Jones is the plaintiff here and is suing Sean Puffy Combs and his son and Cuba Gooding Jr. Now, I ain't seen Cuba.
Damn, so, all right, so Law and Crime wasn't tripping when they did mention Cuba Gooding Jr. That is crazy. But see, Law and Crime did show the pictures of them on set together. Like, yo, you gotta watch these celebrities that y'all idolizing out here, man. Like, the older I get, the more I read, the more research I do, the more knowledge I get, and I want to say some stuff, but I think I'm gonna wait until I get my Rumble app together.
Cuba Gooding in many years. I don't know the last thing that he was in, but so I'm not sure how much money he has left, but they are coming for it. And they are suing. All this is out of the the Southern District of New York. And so they go through the venue here, why it should be in New York. There's our man, Sean Puffy Combs. I think they intentionally chose a terrible photo of our brother here. He's looking pretty rough, pretty scruffy. There is his son, Justin Dior Combs. Now, it was seen on some of the footage from the helicopters that.
And like I told y'all, it's rumored that allegedly Quincy Jones snitched on them. And if y'all looked at the video that I just showed y'all on TikTok, Quincy Jones is right behind the little girl. Like, people didn't see the red flags. Listen, man, this was in 2020 when this surfaced, I think, or 2021, something like that. No, she went missing in 2016, but Puffy, like a couple years later after she went missing, shows up with a girl named Ava Baldwin. Like, looking at the video, listening to what she's saying, like, first he found her when she was 6 months. Then he had just adopted her. Which one was it? Did he just adopt her now at that current age, or did he find her in the street at 6 months? But she has parents, so how did he find her in the streets at 6 months? And as y'all can hear, the little girl's mom, the real Ava Baldwin, which I think is that girl, in my opinion, was not stable. Like, come on, she was caught recording, having you know what on camera with her daughter right next to her. But y'all don't want to listen, so I'm gonna keep moving on.
He was detained. I'm not sure if they got any statements out of him before he was eventually released. There's Lucian, who is the CEO apparently of Universal Music Group. He is one of the defendants. Oh, you got her, man. Cuba can't catch a break. Can we be honest? This man just cannot catch a break. What does he say? Rodney says defendant Cuba Gooding Jr. was a relevant actor who has since fallen from grace due to several sexual assault lawsuits and a recent guilty plea for sexual assault. Did you know this, AV? I didn't know.
Yeah, his last movie was last year. It was called The Weapon in 2023.
He got a weapon, all right. Assault on these women. Did he go to? I wonder what his sentence was for this guilty plea. I wonder if he went to jail or prison or something. Dang. So shout out to Cuba. How the mighty have fallen. Then we got KK. Shout out to KK, who is chief of staff. Somebody said that she gave an affidavit. She's cooperating now. So it looks like some of the pieces are starting to come against Puffy. There is little Rod, a child prodigy. When he was playing back with the church, taught himself many musical instruments. And really, guys, all this really came to a head really a couple of years ago. So this is not one of these Bill Cosby cases where
that paperwork, he got off of it. He didn't read it. It said Mr. Jones. So is they talking about Diddy's son Quincy Jones? Because it does mention Mr. Jones. I hope it doesn't take me. Let me see. I hope I went. See, that's why I don't like doing that. I don't like doing this.
We have something back in.
It says on here, on or about September 12, 2022, Mr. Combs held a writers and producers camp at Charlie's Recording Studio at 845 Highland Avenue, Los Angeles, California, 90038. Mr. Combs, his son Justin Combs, and Justin's friend G were present at this camp. Based on information and belief, Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African-American male. Based on information and belief, in addition to these individuals, other musicians were present at the camp. The writer has spoken to several musicians who attended the camp. One evening during this camp, Mr. Combs, J. Combs, and G were in a heated conversation. The conversation was moved out of the studio into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Let's see if he
In
shows it.
2018, June 2023, he settled a 2020 lawsuit. And it looks like there's 2 recorded lawsuits so far that I can see, but there's probably more.
All right. So we talked a little bit about this, but AV, can you start reading from here? From this
Yeah, I went
wait,
too
why is
far.
this not
Fuck.
working? Wait. Let me do this another way.
I hate
I
that.
think
That's why I don't like
I set it
rewinding.
up wrong. Hold on, let me share my screen differently so we can see it like this. All right, here we go. Can you start reading from here? Let's see what's going on.
Yes. So we're talking about a recording studio shooting. On or about September 12, 2022, Mr. Combs held a writers and producers camp at Chalice Recording Studio in LA. Mr. Combs, his son Justin Combs, and Justin's friend G were present at this camp. Based on information and belief, Mr. G is a 30-year-old tall African American male. Based on information and belief, in addition to these individuals, other musicians were present at the camp. This writer has spoken to several musicians who attended the camp. One evening during the camp, Mr. Combs, Justin, and G were in a heated conversation. That conversation was moved out of the studio into a restroom adjacent to where Mr. Jones was sitting. Mr. Jones was approximately 2 feet away from the bathroom when gunshots rang out. Mr. Jones recalls hearing multiple gunshots. Mr. Jones immediately went into a state of shock and fear that he would be shot next. Mr. Jones genuinely believed that he would be shot through the door due to how close he was. After the shooting ended, a crowd gathered around the restroom. Upon information and belief, when the door was finally opened, Mr. Combs and Justin exited. G was laying on the floor in the fetal position, holding his stomach and bleeding out of his torso, leg/hip area.
All right, so stop. Go ahead.
Yep. I don't know if you wanted me to continue. That's why I stopped.
Oh, you're about to start reading. No, I was about to say, guys. So what's going on right here is that there was an argument between Puffy and G. They were in the bathroom. All of a sudden, gunshots ring out. Puffy and his son.
So did Puffy try to do something against his son's friend and his son's friend shoot him? Like, is that what they're trying to say?
And leave the bathroom. I mean, Rodney goes in, blood all over the floor. He sees G laying in the fetal position, bleeding out of his stomach and his hip. Right? You want to start right here at 41?
Yes. Everyone stood around looking upon G, frustrated by the lack of aid to G. Mr. Jones dropped everything, ran to G, and immediately began placing pressure to G's gunshot wound to his torso. As he was applying pressure to his torso, Mr. Jones realized that G was gushing blood from another area in his leg/hip. He decided to lift G and place him to sit on the toilet. Mr. Jones asked the crowd to call an ambulance. Mr. Jones lifted G and brought him to the ambulance at the front of the studio. At this time, Mr. Combs and Justin disappeared to another part of the studio. Mr. Combs gave strict instructions to inform the police that he had nothing to do with the shooting. He also forced Mr. Jones to lie to the police by telling him that G was shot standing outside the studio by a drive-by assailant.
Ain't that something, guys? So Puffy is like making people lie to the police about what happened when.
This niggas haven't. Is that what they was trying to? Because I heard Mary J. Blige was involved. No, but this must have been recently. Yeah, because his kids are older. When Mary J. Blige was involved in that shooting, it was back then, right? Oh, it's a lot. It's a lot to this show.
And this man was shot. And indeed, if you look at some of the articles, man shot outside party at Hollywood recording studio. G wasn't shot outside. He was shot in the damn bathroom. And Puffy and his son was in it. right?
What
Mhm.
the
Says Mr. Jones had several corroborating witnesses. Mr. Jones has the clothes that he wore that day, and the clothes still may be stained by G's blood, DNA. The screen,
Whew.
look at this.
Yo,
Blood
that's
over here, blood on the damn toilet. Look at this bloody.
how you yo, why is it that they commit crimes and keep the evidence? That's because he had to show that to somebody. I don't know, maybe I'm tripping, but I don't like I feel as though he had to show somebody because why? Why? Like it's gonna catch up with you later on. You keep no evidence, you burn it, right? But these people commit crimes and keep trophies. Like
Napkins over here, Jesus. Upon information and belief, it is clear that G was not shot outside the studio. This is true. Security was porous and lackluster at best. All right, so it's talking about G getting shot in the bathroom here. The following is an image of Puffy Combs a couple of hours before G was shot in the restroom.
Wow.
All right, so this was at the studio right here. And
go up.
again, Shalis has sent an Instagram message saying that G was shot half a block away. So apparently they are trying to cover their tracks. Shalis Recording Studios and defendant Sean and Justin Combs provide conflicting and intellectually dishonest accounts. So here's the Shalis Recording Studios IG saying the shooting occurred a half a block away from Shalis, and it was the result of a robbery. So now they're saying it was a robbery. Puffy forced Little Rob to say it was a drive-by assailant. So they're trying to distance themselves, obviously, from the shooting here. This is the outside of the recording studios where G was shot. So a lot of information here. What is this? Mr. Combs and Justin Combs were located in Studio G across the parking lot from the building where G was shot. Puffy and his son hid out in the recording studio while police investigated and were the first to depart when the officers left.
Say Love Records.
Love Records. Right? Upon information and belief, after being shot in the torso and hip/leg, G was physically incapable of walking. Therefore, the notion he was shot several blocks away or half a block away, or as he steps outside the studio, is implausible.
That's stupid unless he got shot. Somebody put him in a car and drove him into the studio, obviously. But
Plausible. If G could do as much walking as Sean Hawley and CRS claim, then Mr. Jones would not have been required to physically pick him up off of the bathroom floor and walk him through the maze that is CRS Shalis Records studio for him to receive the care from the ambulance. It's amazing that he didn't die. The unfortunate shooting of G.
Yo, they came up with the dumbest, poorest excuse and they believed them. Yo, you can tell some detectives or the officers, whoever was in charge of the case, was being lazy.
The unexplained disappearance of G, the lack of disclosures by the LAPD and the LA Fire Department, and the incoherent nature of the accounts of the shootings raise more questions than answer. Point to foul play and an apparent massive cover-up. Yeah, because listen, a man at the end of the day got shot in the stomach. Where are the arrests? Right? Why is the LAPD, the LA Fire Department, why are they not doing anything about this? So he says it's a massive cover-up. And if anybody can perpetrate a massive cover-up, it's a man who has $1 billion. All right.
All right, so this was in 2022, September 12, 2022. So this was not the case with Diddy and Mary J. Blige. But I wonder if he does talk about it on here.
Do you want to read it from here, AV?
Yes, next section. The deafening silence from the attendees of the shooting stems from the understandable fear that the attendees would be sued by Diddy and for violating an NDA. Upon information and belief, a few days before September 12, 2022, shooting outside of Chalice Record Studio, Mr. Combs required all attendees of the shooting to sign an NDA. Mr. Jones did not sign the NDA. A copy of the NDA that a witness who has asked to remain anonymous provided this writer is attached.
Interesting.
So he made everyone sign an NDA before they can come to the party.
Yeah. Mr. Jones, Little Rod,
So did they attach the NDA?
was sexually harassed and assaulted by Puffy. Throughout his time living with Puffy, Little Rod was a victim of constant, unsolicited, and unauthorized groping and touching of his anus by Sean Puffy Combs. The events of, God dang, how do you get your anus groped? His anus was groped in out.
Wait. Throughout his time living with Mr. Combs, Mr. Jones, okay. All right, because I was like, wait, Mr. Combs, no, Mr. Jones. I mixed it up for a second. I was like, wait, what? He violated his son? The fuck? But no. I misread that and misheard that.
LA, his anus was groped in New York. His anus was groped
Yo,
in
like, what the
Florida.
hell? We gotta say it like that. Like, damn.
In addition to the unsolicited and authorized and unauthorized touching and groping, Little Rod was forced by Puffy to work in Puffy's bathroom as Puffy walked around naked and showered in a clear glass enclosure. This is deep, guys. You know, you say, well, everybody has their price, right? Everybody has their price. What is the price you would need to be paid to have Puffy whenever he wanted just to start groping your anus? He's walking around naked.
But wait, in order for Puffy to get him to do that, he had to have blackmailed him to do something like that. What did Puffy have on Mr. Jones? Like, I don't. Can I get y'all opinions on this?
Naked in the bathroom. You were on all fours cleaning the bathroom floor like Cinderella. And he just come up behind you, start groping that anus. Little rectum action.
The video.
What's your price?
He probably, because he had cameras all over his house, so it was probably a video. I'm just making a simple guess. That just came to my head like a little light bulb, like, oh snap, what could he have had? Probably the video blackmail. Listen, because what would make a man take that job? Like, regardless, nah, bro, I'm not doing this. Nah, I'm out. Fuck it. I don't know.
Price. Now, Puffy had told Little Rod, hey man, I can get you music deals, I can get you a Grammy, I can get you this property worth $20 million. You know, you're at that point, you're kind of selling your soul a little bit. But
Yeah, that's
you could
that.
also be a victim as well in this type of mentality where you feel trapped. Obviously, if Puffy can shoot a man in the stomach and don't go to jail, what can he do to you? Right? I mean, you got to be asking. It seems like, especially men, we have this thing. Well, just get off of your hands and knees.
That's true. Like, your loyalty cannot be that deep. Like, your loyalty cannot be that deep that you're going to sit here and take the blame. Like, he did it. And if allegedly y'all didn't like his behavior and his attitude, yo, he did it. He goes down. Now you could say you have what? You have like they saying what, the Wizard of Oz? Off with his head. Like, come on, man. God cut off his head. Like, but This is crazy. Because if he's a victim, I don't want to put my mouth in it, my foot in my mouth. Like, let me know. Let a shorty know if she's wrong, if she's tripping. Like, let her know. Let a shorty know what up. Like, what's up?
Walk out of the bathroom where Puffy's there walking around with his dick and his balls out and just leave. It's not like the bathroom door is locked. It's not like the mansion door is locked. Just leave. Call an Uber and leave. That, I mean, a lot of people, men and women, can have that type of sentiment. Why don't you just leave? It's not like you're handcuffed to the bed. But, you know, on the other hand, if you just picked up somebody's body that's bleeding out from the floor and the police department doesn't do anything, FBI doesn't do anything, no one does anything, that could be you. Where are you going to go? Where are you going to go that Puffy can't find you?
Let me ask y'all. I want to ask a lot of men this, right? Because I am kind of like, I'm trying to figure it kind of like, if your boss or your friend or somebody killed somebody, right? And you was in this man's situation, right? And you had an opportunity to walk away. Would you stay? Like, would you fear him because you watched him kill somebody? I mean, I just want to know all the real men's opinions out here. I mean, can y'all say y'all from the streets, y'all say y'all gangster, y'all say y'all this. Would y'all let another man have the power to take over yours? I'm just hearing crickets. So let's go.
So it's, on the one hand, there's a lot of people in Hollywood that have done a lot of things to move their career up. It's a lot of people all over the nation, all over the world that have done a lot of things for some money, for some opportunity. But there are a lot of people in this world who have done things that they didn't.
Can I ask y'all a question? Is somebody that sells themselves that, that basically takes money, you know, if there's somebody that gets paid to give up, where the sun doesn't shine, are they considered a victim when they agree to it and then get money for it and then they complain about it and then they say they was forced? I mean, it's hard. Like, yo, this could situations like this is hard because they could be victims and they could be just, trying to get away, find a way to get out of it. Listen, man, this shit is fucking. This is why it's touchy to talk about this. This is why it's touchy.
Want to because they were forced to do it, either a physical force or a coercion or doing things under duress. And so in this situation, when you're a grown man and you're on your hands and knees on the floor
Done with
and
the
Puffy
paperwork?
come up behind you again to grope that anus,
I just want to smack him
I
right.
mean,
I'm
it's just,
sorry,
it's a
legal
bad
attorney.
situation all around.
It's the
Says,
weird joke.
as a heterosexual Christian man,
Lead attorney, I'm sorry. I just want to smack your bold head real quick. It's just the way you're talking. I'm sorry. No disrespect. I do apologize ahead. Can you just let me smack the back of your head real quick? And then on the top of it, let me just read. Like, it's so shiny, mirror, mirror on the wall. I apologize. I apologize. No disrespect. No disrespect. It's just the way you was joking. I had to roast you back.
Little Rod was uncomfortable with the groping. He was uncomfortable with the anus action, the advances, and he expressed his comfort to Puffy's chief of staff, KK. KK responded to Little Rod that, oh, Puffy gonna be Puffy gonna be Puffy, man. You can't change him. He's got $1 billion. He's in his 40s and 50s. What do you want from him?
Yo, if she said that, she need to go behind bars, yo. Like, Roshan, she need to go down too. So I'm glad they pressing charges against her. All this has really happened. They all need to go down. They all need to go down.
Puffy gonna be Puffy, which is a true statement. You know, if Puffy's doing all this with Cassie, been doing all this for 3 years, 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, you think your ass is gonna come in and change the whole playbook?
He blew up Kid Cudi's car.
He blew up Kid Cudi's car. You think you're gonna go to college as a freshman, jump in on Nick Saban's team and just gonna change the way Nick Saban has been coaching for the last 10, 20 years? You're gonna join. Then, like, you're a black man, yeah. You grew up in Detroit, yeah, but your name Fahim Muhammad, like, I'm all right, you know. Do you speak Arabic fluently? Oh, and you know all this weapons training and tactical training, like Fahim, right? What's your real name? What's your real name, Fahim? Right? I got some questions. How do you get in a room with a doctor and Michael Jackson when Michael Jackson passes away? When he transitions, you're staring him in the face. Guys, you know, there's just so much backstory, so much in the deep waters that you and I will never find out. But, you know, some of it is coming to light. We never knew about the free
What he was about to say before I stopped it.
offs that were happening for years. Cassie was with this dude for 10 years. All the shit, right? Shout out to AV with the nails, the freak offs. Who knows how long, man, who knows what Fahim knows?
Right.
Who?
All right. Yo, this Diddy situation is crazy, but I would love to get y'all opinions. Like, y'all can go watch the lead attorney. Like, he is reading all the paperwork and stuff. He's got the pictures and all that. I think Let's Talk with Love says she has also paperwork. Shout out to Let's Talk with Love, because listen, man, I want to see her video. I'm dying to see her video to see what they're talking about. But I'm about to start talking about Dan Schneider in 1 second. But yo, this whole situation is crazy. Diddy being connected with the trafficking. Not just that, the underground tunnels. Like I said, this is real deep. But the lead attorney was reading the charges. This is one of the reasons why they raided his house and found all this, was because of the lawsuit from Lil Rodney against Diddy and stuff. And he said a lot of stuff the same way that Cassie said a lot of stuff. So both these lawsuits combined together, a lot of stuff was said. And it's probably more. Like the lead attorney said on this video, there's a lot of people snitching on Diddy right now. Yo, stuff that we see, yo, man. The stuff that we see. I'm about to start playing the Dan Schneider. Give me 1 second. But before I do, let me play a song real quick. I do apologize. I got to take a quick little break. So give me a second after, I got to take, just give me a minute. And we're going to start talking on Dan Schneider. If anybody wants to leave comments and stuff like that, I'm about to drop the link in 1 second too. Well, I'm going to drop the link when I'm done doing what I'm doing. Just give me a minute because I got to do something real quick. Till the world blows up. So let's get to it, yo. I hope they throw away the key when it comes to Diddy. And everybody involved that was doing, all that stuff need to be with him. I can't believe my daughter has drawn on my wall like that. But here we go. Let's get to Dan Schneider, guys. So I've been talking about Dan Schneider for a minute. I've been talking about Dan Schneider for a minute. And it's crazy that the hot dog boy. He's the one that interviews Dan Schneider. Dan Schneider confirms what all these kids were saying as they were growing up. He admits to what happened and why he did it. And he's still out here walking. So if we're going to talk about one, let's talk about both.
Nickelodeon's iCarly. I got a chance to watch the Quiet on Set program, and I reached out to Dan to see if it was something that he'd be willing to discuss. I'm pleased to say that he said yes. Dan, how are you?
I'm okay. I'm okay. I really appreciate you reaching out and giving me the opportunity to talk to you about what we saw over the last 2 nights.
I'm really glad you're here because I believe this is important.
For sure.
We've got a lot of things to unpack. But before I dive into my list of topics,
let me pause it right here real quick and let me give a shout out to Dan Warp. I don't know if y'all can see it right there. Dan Warp. He has uploaded the video on his channel. Y'all can go subscribe to him if y'all wish. Hopefully y'all do, because he's been uploading videos and stuff like that when it comes to, the Nickelodeon. But I suggest y'all sub up to him. Let's keep listening to what he's got to say. Like, yo, this situation is crazy. Our childhood was made happy while the child stars that were making us happy were living hell. That is the crazy part.
that I'd like to discuss. Is there anything you'd like to start off with?
Absolutely. Watching over the past 2 nights was very difficult. Me facing my past behaviors, some of which are embarrassing.
Yo, I gotta pause it fast. Facing my past behaviors, some of which I feel embarrassed. Like, he's saying this like it's a normal thing.
And that I regret, and I definitely owe some people a pretty strong apology.
Let's talk about the massages.
Okay.
Dan Schneider really thinks that giving these kids, well, now they're adults, but an apology is just going to fix everything. Abracadabra, forget what I did and let me just be. Just because you're old doesn't save you. Only my baby. Not him.
Watching the content yesterday, it was disturbing.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. It was the wrong thing to do. I'd never do it today. I'm embarrassed that I did.
It was wrong. It was wrong that I ever put anybody in that position. I shouldn't have done it. I ain't doing it today. Okay, so that makes it better, huh?
Did it then. I apologize to anybody that I ever put in that situation. And even additionally, I apologize to the people who were walking around Video Village or wherever they happened, because there were lots of people there who witnessed it who also may have felt uncomfortable. So I owe them an apology as well.
Yeah. Dan, talk to me about the writer's room. From what I saw, not cool.
No. And I don't mean to cut you off, but if I can cut right to the chase, let me just say, no writer should ever feel uncomfortable in any writer's room, ever, period, the end, no excuses. Most TV writers, comedy writers have been in writers' rooms, and they are aware that.
So if they shouldn't feel uncomfortable, why would you make them feel uncomfortable? Why did you do the stuff that you did? Like Amanda Bynes, Ariana Grande, Sam, Drake Bell. Like, it was said allegedly that Drake, well, it's not allegedly, this came out of Drake's mouth. And what's crazy, no, this hasn't made it to a court system. There's no paperwork on it. And I don't even know if it will make it to court. If there will be any paperwork on it, will he be put on the registry? Which he should be put on the registry. But it's always been a he say, she say.
That a lot of times there are inappropriate jokes made and inappropriate topics come up. But the fact that I participated in that, especially when I was leading the room, it embarrasses me. I shouldn't have done it. and I can tell you why it hurts really bad for me. I remember very clearly my early experiences, my first experiences in the entertainment business. I was green, I was scared, I was excited. It meant the world to me that I was getting those opportunities. And I went in and I got lucky because they were great. My first couple of experiences were fantastic. And the fact that I didn't pay that forward to every employee that walked through my door, it hurts my heart because I should have. And I wish I could go back and fix that. In the writer's room, there's no doubt that sometimes those jokes went beyond the pale and I said things that went too far or made practical jokes that went too far. And that was wrong. And that was because, I was an inexperienced producer. I was immature. Wouldn't happen today, but I'm just really sorry it happened.
Yeah. Now, we know you've had a lot of success over 2 decades. Thousands of people have worked with you, for you. Okay. Let's speak directly to the people who did not have a good experience with you.
Okay. I would like to speak to those people because I hate that anybody worked for me and didn't have a good time. You know me. You've been on my sets. Look, I've had some employees that have worked for me for 10 years, some more than 20 years, who would work with me again. But not everybody. There's still a significant number that didn't have a great time working for me. So my batting average isn't nearly high enough in that area. And the way they wouldn't get the best of me is that I would let the pressure of doing 40 or even more episodes per year, I would let that pressure get to me, which a good boss should never, ever do.
Was there specific things that you were doing?
Sure. I would snap at people sometimes. I would be snarky when I could have given them a nicer answer. I would not give people the time that they needed. I would be in too big a hurry to get on to the next thing I had to do. And watching that show, it made me, there were so many times I wanted to pick up a phone and call some of those people and say, I'm so sorry, and let's talk about it. And I wish you'd had a better time, and I wish I could have shown you a better experience.
Yeah. Now, you've written hundreds of episodes. Thousands of jokes have been told.
Yeah.
But currently where we are, some people think that some of those jokes are inappropriate for children. What do you think of that?
All these jokes that you're speaking of, that the show covered over the past 2 nights, every one of those jokes was written for a kid audience because kids thought they were funny and only funny. Okay. Now we have some adults looking back at them 20 years later through their lens, and they're looking at them and they're saying, oh, I don't think that's appropriate for a kid show. And I have no problem with that. If that's how anyone feels, let's cut those jokes out of the show, just like I would have done 20 years ago or 25 years ago. I cut it. I want my shows to be popular. I want everyone to like it. The more people who like the shows, the happier I am.
Yeah.
So if there's anything in a show that needs to be cut because it's upsetting somebody, let's cut it.
So I think it's big for you to say, with your work, if it's viewed as that today, you don't have a problem.
Cut it. Cut it.
I mean, that's a solution.
The last thing I want to ever do is put any content in a show that's going to upset my audience and make them want to turn off the TV. Why would I ever want to do that?
That makes sense. I want to give you an opportunity to kind of elaborate on something.
Okay.
The thought process from the series is you had the power to just write a joke, and no matter what, it's going on TV. You just had that type of power. Is that true?
The notion that I had the power to just produce whatever I wanted and have it air is completely false.
Okay.
There were many, many levels of scrutiny. Okay. We had executives in LA. We had executives in New York.
So 2 coasts.
2 coasts of approval. Coasts. Yes. And by the way, approval at every stage, really. Okay. And I'm talking about wardrobe. I'm talking about makeup, sound, sets, dialogue, jokes, everything.
Now, when you say approval, these obviously that's a hierarchy, not your colleagues or people in the room. Okay.
No, not my colleagues. No, these are my bosses. Bosses, and then their bosses, and then their bosses. And
so is he trying to say that his bosses are making him do this? I want to show y'all something. Share the screen. I want y'all to listen to what this lady is saying. And these are Olsen twins. This the Olsen twins. All right. And I would love to hear y'all opinions. I would love to hear y'all perspectives on what this lady is saying about about what happened with the Olsen twins.
Exposed right now, and we're all since Nickelodeon and Disney are being exposed right now, and we're all finally learning the heartbreaking truth about some of our favorite childhood stars, I think we should take this time to apologize to Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen. Everybody said they were crazy, but I can't be the only one that saw Bob Saget's roast. And I know it's just a roast, and roasts are just for jokes, but aren't jokes supposed to be funny? I'm going to play some of those clips now, and I'll let you form your own opinions.
Never met the Olsen twins. He introduced me to them. I said to him, how do I tell them apart? He says, Ashley swallows.
How do you make an answer? The Olsen twins say, well, Bob Saget hands you a chocolate milk that he just made, and you wake up 3 hours later lying on your stomach.
That should have been called blackjack because you hit on the Olsens when they were 8. He didn't stop till they were 21.
Entire job consisted of saying, take a look at this, which is what he used to say to Mary-Kate Olsen in her dressing room.
Is it true that you used to give Mary-Kate acting lessons? You tell her, act like this never happened.
The way the audience was laughing is just sick. It just makes you wonder how much truth there were behind these alleged jokes and accusations. Since Nickelodeon and Disney are being exposed right now, and we're all finally...
And that's a big fact. Now, I want y'all to hear what this guy is saying.
I will no longer say this out.
And I want y'all to hear what this man's research came up when he did, he researched Nickelodeon.
I will no longer say this out loud. Just when I thought the deception ran so deep, you find out it runs even deeper. Because the Latin translation is, I don't care about God. What? Are you waking up yet? This is deception at its finest. Getting children to say things in other languages that they wouldn't normally say. I wonder how many other organizations associated with children does.
So basically, when we say the word, we're saying, I don't care about God. Right? Sorry, I'm trying to find the other video. Where is it? If I don't find it, I'm going to just go back to the video. Damn.
When they launched this fake alien invasion, everybody gonna swear it's real. You know why? Because people.
No, there's another video. Where is the video of the guy? Here we go.
Listen.
Now, for the people that do their research and know about this, I would love to get your opinions and see if y'all like the word and stuff like that know about the spiritual world, that know about the Bibles and know about religion and have made it further that know the true meaning about God and the God of Sun and Lucifer and all that. If there's a way y'all could explain this to me, hey, I'm all ears.
True name is God. We're not. Satan's
Listen.
true name is God. We're not supposed to be calling upon the name God, and I'm going to show you. So I'm reading from the book of Enoch, which was removed from our Bibles. This is referring to a type of angels and their names. And the third was named Godriel, or shortened would be God. He it is who shown the children of men all the blows of death, and he led astray Eve. So this is literally talking about Satan, the one who led astray Eve, right, in the garden. His true name is Godriel, which shortened would be God. Now, if you go on Google and you type in God definition, you'll see this little name pop up next to it, G-A-D, God. The same way it's pronounced in Enoch, with that little vowel point above the A. Now look at this. Baal God means Lord of Fortune. Why do you think on the back of our money it says, "In God we trust"? It's not talking about the Most High of the Bible.
Right.
It's a reference to Satan, the evil one.
Knowledge is power.
Now check this out. Every time you see Baal in the scriptures, it actually is just the Hebrew word for Lord. So we're not supposed to be calling him Lord either.
Oh,
Right? Go
shit.
into the Blue Letter Bible, click on Baal, and you will see it literally means.
Ooh, this makes me want to rewrite all my poems because I have the word God in it and the word Lord in it a lot.
Lord, which is the name they planted over the name Yahuwah 7,000 times in the scriptures.
That's right.
Every time you see in all caps the Lord, it was originally his name.
That's right.
Yahuwah. If you don't believe me, go fact check me. I have studied to show myself approved.
That's
and I'm
right.
just revealing to you.
And I am, trust me, researching and looking and informing myself because I really want to learn. I want to learn about my creator.
Guys, what I have found. Don't shoot the messenger. Now remember what I said. We're not supposed to be calling him Lord because it actually means Baal. Go to Jeremiah 23 verse 27. His true name is Yirmiyahu, who attempt to cause my people to forget my name for Baal.
All praises.
Or Lord. Remember, guys, Satan is literally the father of lies.
That's right.
Look at this. However, the word Baal means Lord. Look it up. A proper terminology would be Elohim or Elohim. It means mighty one. We should really be calling upon his name. Now, I can confidently say that the Most High knows our hearts. Right? He is abundant with grace and mercy. But now that you have this information, do your research on the name of Yahuwah and pray about it. Right? Don't treat this pearl like a swine. You all need to study to show thyself approved, right? That is a duty that we all have.
That's right.
So don't just push this aside and continue to say God. Go do some research and prayer. I'll see y'all in the next one. Don't forget to like and follow.
That video was powerful. Only a select few will understand what's being stated. Everyone.
And that was Jahasha. So for those of you, y'all can go follow him. Now let's go back to the video. Let's go back to Dan Schneider.
And they're approving all of this stuff.
Okay.
Okay. And we're also shooting it in front of all sorts of adults and caregivers and the set teacher and the families. Everybody's watching it. And if anybody had said anything, hey, we don't like that, that's not appropriate, then it would have been cut out.
Now, I'm gonna push back a little bit because the series painted you in this way that you were just the guy that was doing what he wanted, and people were afraid to confront you about things. So say, just humor me, say that was the case. What would have been the ultimate way to...
Okay, if nobody on the set, if all of the dozens and dozens of adults that were on the set, if they didn't say anything, if my bosses said, if they insisted, you got to make a change here, you got to cut that, I had to do it. I had no choice.
Got it. Now this next one, it kind of hit.
So were the scripts his or not? Because he's trying to say that his bosses forced him. Like they're the ones that said this stays or this goes and made him change it. What are y'all opinions about that? Listen, man, I think they all in cahoots, and all of this goes hand in hand, and all of them need to be brought down. But I do know that it's going to take its course and it's going to take its time. I do know that we're in 2024 and it's the time of reveal. I was talking about this a little while ago. I also did a live like 2 years ago because I wanted to learn about it, because there was people talking about how in 2024 towards 2025 a lot of stuff was going to happen, and they were speaking. You know, it's kind of like a prediction, I would say, but that's what they call it. But shit, knowing that the English language is not what it is, I'm over here learning. Like, but we're in 2024, and all of it is coming true. From the people that were supposed to die, to the people that were supposed to go to jail, to the people that were supposed to be framed.
Close to home.
Mm-hmm.
Being a new father, I wouldn't be opposed to my child being in the entertainment industry. It doesn't matter what age. Yeah. Seeing some of those on-air dares, seeing it now from where you are now in your life. What do you think?
I think that some of the on-air dares went too far. I think they pushed the envelope too far. Not all of them, not most of them, but some did. Nickelodeon wanted to do their version of Fear Factor. At the time we were shooting All That, so I was tasked with doing these on-air dares with the All That cast. So we get with the writers and we come up with all these ideas, and it's hard to do because we don't have the budget of Fear Factor, and we can't put the kids in dangerous situations like the adults are put in. So it was hard to come up with stuff. But we would come up with all these ideas of dares they could do. We would give them to the network, and they would say,
You couldn't put the kids in danger, but yet y'all still put them in danger. Y'all had 3 predators working on the scene. Like, what y'all didn't do y'all background? Y'all just didn't care? Like, come on, let's make all this make sense. Like, you're making too many excuses. And nobody's mentioning this. And the reason why I say it is because, damn, like, what's the difference? Like, y'all really that hard bend on going by that racism shit. Like, we haven't learned what the real meaning of racism is. Like, we haven't learned that deep down we all bleed the same color, no matter what the color of our skin is.
tell us the ones that were okay.
Right.
Those are the ones we shot. Those are the ones that aired. At the time, I had no indication that any kid ever had a problem with them. But when I was watching the show over the past 2 nights, I now know that there were kids who did have problems with the on-air dare.
How can you not have known that kids were not having problems with you when for years these rumors were going around, and you're telling me that not one rumor got to you? Not one. Not so long ago, a couple years back, what's her name? Sam from Sam and Cat from iCarly wrote a book, and in the book, you're in it. Come on, man. Excuses after excuses, and this man is still walking.
Dares. And it breaks my heart. And I'm so sorry. I am so sorry to any kid who ever had to do a dare or anything that they didn't want to do or weren't comfortable doing. We went out of our way to make sure they were safe and that everything was done properly. But if a kid was scared and didn't want to do it, kids shouldn't have had to do it.
Yeah.
Period. The end.
Right.
And if I had known at the time, I would have changed it on the spot.
Now, we also saw the series highlight 2 former writers' viewers, 2 women, who spoke about a wage discrepancy. Now, I know that you don't divvy out salaries. Talk to me about that part.
Well, you're correct. I have nothing to do with paying writers. I never have. I've never made a writer's deal. And of all the writers I've been in a writer's room with, I never even knew how much most of them were getting paid.
Yeah, but we saw these 2 women who were writers for you sharing one salary. How does that happen?
It's very simple. There's a common practice in television when hiring writers. If you have a spot for a new writer, sometimes you'll go to 2 writers and say, hey, if you 2 new writers for your first job are willing to share a salary, you can both have the job. They have the opportunity to say, yes, that sounds good, or no, no, thank you. In this case, it was 2 women writers. I've done another show where that teaming was done with 2 male writers and they split a salary. I did another show where it was a male and a female writer and they split a salary. So,
and these are all first-time writers.
All first-time writers looking for their first gig.
Got it. Now, in the series, they also highlighted 2 Black actors who said that they felt overlooked. Now, I want to be clear. I'm never going to speak on anyone else's journey. Yeah, I can talk about my experience, how my experience was with you, what I saw prior to working with you. But again, I don't want to speak on anyone's journey. I saw you be honored for diversity in your work.
Yes. And the reason for that is diversity has always been very important to me in my shows. If you go back to the very first Nickelodeon show I ever made, that's very evident, as it is in the second one, and then the first movie I ever made for Nickelodeon, which starred Kenan and Kel. And every show I did after that had a lead Black actor in it. I'm very proud of that. It's very important to me. And not only am I proud.
So because they had a lead Black actor in it, that's what makes you proud. But the fact that you're not hearing the accusations, but yet you admit to knowing what happened, you apologize for it. Sure, all I'm hearing throughout this whole interview is him making excuses. Yet, wow, admitting to knowing what happened and that he feels bad. Basically, you're saying that all these kids were right, but fuck it, we had to make them look crazy because of my boss and the boss above him. So you didn't care.
That they were in my shows, I'm exceptionally proud of the achievements they've had beyond my shows, and they've gone on to bigger and better things, and that gives me a great sense of pride.
Well, something that really kind of bothered me was how they depicted your relationship with the cast.
Yeah, it bothered me too.
Yeah, just me being there, I knew the dynamic was trust. I understood that in situations where they may have had turmoil, whether it be with their families, whether it be other castmates, they came to you. Versus how they made you look. With that said, Amanda Bynes was brought up in the series and her emancipation and how you were involved in that. Can you talk to us about it a bit?
Sure. Amanda was between the ages of 16 and 17, and she wanted to get emancipated from her parents, which was a fairly common thing with successful young actors, at least at the time.
Sure.
And you know what that kind of reminds me of? This man that they're talking about here on YouTube called Ears to the Street, right? So she wanted to get emancipated, and what? You took her in? And she lived with you and just your wife, huh? While she was 16, turning 17. Still underage. Y'all relationship was talked about for years. You do know that you're known for grooming Amanda Bynes. And Amanda Bynes tried to tell the world through Twitter for years, and nobody listened. A lot listened. But shit, it's like I say in my poem, many sow seeds of pain and weep.
And she wanted that for herself. So she turned to her team, which included her lawyer, her agent, her manager, her publicist, me, because she included me as part of her team, thought of me that way. We supported her. She tried to get emancipated. It ended up not working out. She didn't.
Well, since we're here, let's stay here for a moment. There was also an incident where she had ran away from home, if you would. Can you talk to us a little bit just to clear the air of exactly what happened in that situation?
Yes. One night, it was very late, well after midnight, 1 or 2 in the morning. Phone rang. I answered. It was Amanda. She was upset. She was in distress. She had had some conflict with her parents, I think her father, and she called me. I was immediately concerned about her safety. I called someone who I knew was fairly nearby. That person was able to go and pick her up. Then I knew she was safe. I felt better. She ended up being taken to the police.
Well, regardless of what some people may think, I think it's only positive that you are there for people when they need you. That said, let's talk about some of the things that have just been swirling forever.
Okay.
You were banned from your set.
Never happened. That is a false rumor.
What happened?
Add it to the list of false rumors.
Talk to me. What happened?
They were adult actresses at the time, and they had their own specific reasons for not wanting to do the show anymore. I'm not judging that. It got tense, and what they don't know maybe is I did everything I could to make that show go away. My producer partner.
What's crazy how everybody has the same accusation. So you're telling me everybody's speaking up and they all telling lies?
At the time, we would call and say, this is not a good situation.
Okay.
So I decided I'm going to do what most showrunners do, which is you're not on the set. There's a director there to shoot it. I'll go up to the writer's room. I'll work on the next script. But because everybody was so used to me caring about every detail of every show so much. For me not to be on the set, yeah, maybe some people thought I got banned.
So it was more of an assumption because this guy's usually here and now he's not.
I don't know if it was an assumption. I don't know if somebody thought they were making me look bad by saying I got banned from the set. I have no idea.
Okay.
All I know is I was never banned from the set.
Yep. The darkest part of this series discussed child predators. Now, I want to make sure that we clear a couple of things up.
What you gonna say now, Dan?
Brian Peck was not hired by you.
No, I did not hire Brian Peck.
This was a Tolan Robbins production?
Yeah. And when Drake and I talked and he told me what had happened, I was more devastated by that than anything that ever happened to me in my career thus far. And I told him, I'm here for you. What do you need? Which Drake mentioned in the show that we watched last night. And next, I heard that he went to court when this guy was being tried, Peck. And when Drake walked in, he saw 50 people sitting on the side of the courtroom supporting Peck. A lot of.
You know what I noticed? That Peck has the same name as Josh Peck, who did the show with Drake Bell. And that Peck guy was working alongside, if y'all go do your research, he was working alongside with Dan Schneider. And when you look up Josh Peck, you don't know who his father is. That's another rabbit hole I plan on going down to try to like figure out, like, are they related?
A lot of them pretty famous. Of course, Drake was devastated that happened. And even more disappointing, 41 of those people wrote letters for Peck, character letters, praising him for who he was and asking for leniency. And they knew that he was guilty. They knew he had confessed to some degree, and they still did this. That's baffling that adults would do that.
Yeah.
And I don't know if people know this, but Drake's mom, a lovely woman who I stay in contact with this day, she came to me at the time and she said, Dan, I'm not good with words like you are. And would you help me with my speech for the judge? And I said, of course. And I did. And he ended up going to prison and serving his time.
Yo.
And yeah, that was probably the darkest part.
No,
of
the
my career.
darkest is that.
And here's the kicker that
the darkest is that you kind of like jumped off that Amanda Bynes situation really, really fast. Go see if China went into that front room. He jumped off that Amanda Bynes. He didn't really explain the Amanda Bynes situation the right way. No. Because, yo, Amanda Bynes it's like, y'all have got to do y'all research on the Amanda Bynes situation. Like, dude, she was 16 going on 17, and she did look up to you. And he was a grown man that liked to get into that hot tub with all these kids, whether you had your clothes on or not. That wasn't appropriate. And you're telling me that, okay, you wanted certain things off, but you didn't fight for it? I would have said his job and exposed them if you cared as much as you say you cared. But that's just my opinion.
I really don't get. After he got out of prison and was, to my knowledge, a registered sex offender, he was hired on a Disney Channel show. I don't understand that. I don't understand.
Yeah. I appreciate you sharing that, man. Are you okay? You want to take a minute?
Yeah, I'm all right. Let's keep going.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay. I think we really unpacked some important things. We set the record straight on a lot of things.
Mm-hmm.
Before I let you get out of here, I appreciate the vulnerability that you use in knowing that there's definitely things that you would have and should have done differently.
Mm-hmm.
Is there anything that we haven't discussed? Anything that if you could go back and navigate the journey differently, what would that look like?
Yeah, there's definitely things that I would do differently. One that I think would be really, really important is when you're hiring young actors, minors, to work in television, I would suggest that we have a licensed therapist there to oversee that process for the specific reason of making sure that those kids really wanted to do this job, that they really wanted to be on television. Maybe they should even be informed about what that means. What's it going to mean if you're famous? What's that going to mean on social media? What's it going to mean within your family? Let them find out. And then that way, if a kid doesn't want to be on a TV show, they can opt out. That psychologist, that therapist could come to us and say, this kid doesn't want to do it, or their parents aren't understanding of what's going to come. And then we could avoid the mistake of ever putting a kid in a TV show that didn't want to be there. And additionally, the main thing that I would change is how I treat people and everyone.
No. Y'all blackmailed them kids, y'all. I swear, like that is the crazy thing. Like, yo, admit to it. Like you went around it. This is crazy. And the parents ain't no better. But yo, you admit it right there. Amanda Bynes lived with you. But you have to make it seem good, right? But it's not good. It is not good. For those of y'all that haven't checked out, this is a portion of this is a part of the interview. So this is the interview that everybody's talking about. And then you got that dark on set interview. I can't really play that because that's a TV show and they will really strike me. So if y'all want to really, hear what the kids said, y'all gotta go to the interview. Y'all can see it on I think on ID, Oxygen. I forgot where it was. So just look it up and y'all be able to see the show. But on that note, I hope all of y'all have had a blessed and humble night. I hope all of y'all continue to have a blessed and humble night. And let us shorty know what y'all think about everything to Dan Schneider. What are y'all opinions about the Dan Schneider situation?